We talk a lot about AI tools, AI strategies, but what if we're missing the most important piece of the puzzle? What if the real key to success isn't the technology at all, but our mindset? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into today based on some fantastic work by Martina Peukart.
So let's start with just one number, 72%. Now, what do you think that represents? It's not a success rate, I can tell you that. It's actually a massive wall holding us back from the future of work.
72%. That's almost 3/4 of our colleagues, of our teams, who feel completely left in the dark by AI. And it's not because they can't learn, it's because they just don't know where to begin. But digging deeper, you find it's not just about a skills gap, it's about some very real human emotions. Things like uncertainty, fear, and that nagging anxiety about being replaced.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It is not technology that changes the world, but the attitude of the people who use it. This one sentence completely flips the script on the whole AI conversation. It's not about the code. It's about our courage and our willingness to engage with it. Okay, so if our attitude is the real key, what kind of attitude do we need to have? Well, this brings us to a really powerful idea, the AI mindset. You can think of it as the new mental operating system we need for this new augmented reality we're all stepping into. So what is an AI mindset, really? It's not about just passively accepting that AI is here. No, it's an active, conscious choice. It's about being genuinely open to change and always looking for ways to use AI for growth and for innovation. And this is where it gets really practical. The AI mindset isn't some fuzzy concept. It's built on 4 solid pillars. First, there's curiosity, that constant drive to ask, what if? Then you've got flexibility, being willing to challenge the old, this is how we've always done it way of thinking. Third is resilience, and this one's huge, understanding that you're going to make mistakes, and that's not just okay, it's part of learning. And finally, creativity, seeing AI not as a threat, but as your new brainstorming partner. And the stakes here, wow, they are incredibly high. This is like a tale of two futures, and it all comes down to mindset. A negative mindset, that's a one-way ticket to resistance, fear, and stagnation. But a positive, growth-oriented mindset, well, that unlocks everything. Faster adaptation, way more efficiency, and a culture where innovation can actually thrive.
All right, so we get the what and the why of the AI mindset, but that brings us to the biggest question of them all, right? How do we actually grow this mindset across an entire company? Well, the source material we're looking at points to one incredibly powerful catalyst for this change.
I mean, this is the million-dollar question for every leader, every manager, and especially every executive coach out there. It's one thing for you or me to be curious, but how do you bake that into the DNA of the whole culture? And the answer is just so clear. It's coaching. This isn't some fluffy, nice-to-have skill anymore. It is the absolute engine for this transition. And why is that? Because coaching gets right to the heart of what holds people back, our fears, our resistance, and all of that untapped potential. So if you're a coach, what does this actually look like day to day? It really breaks down into a 3-part strategy. First up is education, demystifying AI and showing how it's a tool to support us, not replace us. Second, practical application. You got to get your hands dirty with hands-on training and real-world scenarios. And third, maybe the most important of all, is emotional support, creating a safe space where people can talk openly about their anxieties around this huge shift. But, you know, as soon as you start weaving AI into a practice as deeply human as coaching, you run headfirst into a massive topic, ethics. And this isn't just about technical guardrails. We're talking about our core human values. This leads us to a really fundamental question that, honestly, the entire industry is wrestling with right now. Can a process that relies so much on trust, empathy, and genuine human connection, can that ever be delivered ethically by or even with an algorithm? Now, on one hand, the potential upsides are pretty compelling. I mean, AI could make coaching available to everyone in a company, not just the execs. It could bring in some data-driven objectivity to help reduce our own human biases. And it could create a whole new level of transparency in the coaching process. But, and this is a big but, the ethical worries are just as serious. We have to think about data privacy. I mean, this is sensitive, personal stuff. Then there's the black box problem, where we don't even know how the AI is making its decisions. And of course, there's the undeniable truth that an AI simply cannot replicate real human empathy.
So, at the end of the day, the answer has to be about balance. The future isn't about choosing between a human or a machine. It's a partnership. It's about combining the awesome efficiency of technology with the wisdom, the oversight, and the empathy of a human coach. That's what responsible AI looks like.
So let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture. This whole human versus machine narrative you hear all the time, it's so outdated. The real story and the real opportunity is human plus machine. There's a fantastic term for this future: collaborative intelligence. Think about it like a formula. You take our uniquely human skills, things like creativity, empathy, critical thinking, and you supercharge them with AI's incredible speed and its power to analyze massive amounts of data. That is the winning combination. And that brings us right back around to where we started. Having the right mindset, it isn't just a nice to have or some minor advantage anymore. A mindset of curiosity, flexibility, and creativity is completely, utterly indispensable. It is the foundation that everything else has to be built on. So, we'll end on this one thought. The technology is here. It's getting smarter and faster every single day. The real question isn't about the machines anymore. It's about us. Are our mindsets ready?